this computer. There we go. Okay, so we are recording, and this is our how to have a successful virtual party training, and it is a work in progress, okay, because it's constantly changing. Facebook is constantly changing, marketing constantly changes, but in the moment, these are the best practices that we know. So Wendy and I have been working together on this just because I kind of needed a partner in crime, someone that I could call and say, okay, I'm brainstorming this. Do you think this would work or this wouldn't work? Or how do we make this set up? And what are you doing? And so that's where we're starting, and it's going to be growing and changing. I'll just tell you that right now. So if you were to come back and do this same training again a month from now, you might see different tips and tricks, okay? So we plan to offer this every Thursday evening for the foreseeable future. And like I said, because it is a work in progress, it will be different from week to week. So here we go. I'm going to do some screen sharing, and I'm going to show you the programs that we have already set up as a starting point. And so I'm going to share my screen, and you should all be able to see this. And so there's my screen right there for my outline. I don't have it memorized. So this is where we're going to start. I want to show you, I'm going to just assume, I know some of you on here are very tech savvy and some of you are not. So I'm going to assume that nobody is. And I'm going to show you what may seem very basic to some people, but here's what I want you to think about, the way I want you to think about that. And, you know, John, I'm looking at you. So if this seems like, you know, duh, who doesn't know this? What we want to keep in mind is what seems second nature to us. Someone that you help get started in this business next week, it may be all a foreign language to them. All right. So, so that's what I'm working from, is just assuming that we're all starting kind of down here, and the goal is to train people to understand up there. So these tabs, see where it says new tabs across the top? I want to always have multiple tabs open. And then that way I don't have to go out and find it and then go back in. So here, what you can see that I have open, the tabs that I have open right now are our Facebook group, okay, and Zoom, right? I can also have my Pampered Chef tab open, which I do when I'm working on a party, and I'll show you why in a minute, open to imagery. I can also have Pampered Chef, another tab open, where I'm going to open it, and I should have done this before y'all got here, but I really wanted you to see how I open it. So then here, I can also have it open to my parties right here, so that I can easily access the party links for the different shows that I have open, okay? Or if I'm setting up a party. I want to make sure that I can see that they are there so that I can easily pull links, okay? So we're going to come back over here to Facebook, and I have bookmarked, I'm going to show you here, some things for you that are brand spanking new, all right? And this is going to be the easiest way for us to manage this. Oh, I forgot, I set up a folder. And so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to show you two different things. I'm going to show you one, and then Wendy's going to show you one as well. Okay, so this is an example of a Facebook group that is going to be there for you to go into anytime you want. And you're going to notice that all of the comments are turned off. And I'm going to go into this one. Oh, I already did that one. I'm going to go into this one. And you don't have to worry about this. There's only going to be one of these in the end. Okay, this is why we're still working on this. Wendy, what did I do here? That's that one. This one is the one.
Example is the one.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we want sample.
Okay, so this is what is important for you to know. There's so many things, but we're going to start here. Okay, and that is that when you have a group set up, I don't care what kind of group it is, by nature of Facebook, a group means that you can post and people can comment, generally speaking. So we'll go into a different group. I'm going to open another tab because it makes my life easier. And I'm going to open a tab for a party that's closed that you can see. This is a party that was mine last month. Okay. So when I open this party, whatever post was commented on last is going to end up at the top, even if that post was made the first day of the party. So every time someone comments on a post, it rearranges the post and puts it up at the top. That's the way Facebook parties work, okay? Did everybody know that? We're all on the same page. Everybody knew that, right? If you didn't, that's okay. Okay, so that's why when you have a Facebook party and you have it set up as a group and you go and you open it, it'll sometimes be posts that you've already seen before. And it's because someone commented on it, which brought it back up to the top, okay? So that is just the way Facebook works, all right? So we're gonna go back here, and this is a sample party that I have made for you, and this is one of my old parties. And I've made this so that you cannot comment on it and you cannot post on it, which means it won't get out of order, okay? And I actually went in and I posted it from last to first so that you see, this says post number 1, okay? And, but on a regular Facebook group, this would actually be the bottom and you work your way up. So I posted it in backwards order so it would stay this way for you. And we're going to work our way through this and we're going to explain why we've done what we've done, okay? So I'm going to move y'all out of the way. Here we go. All right, so notice this is the new Facebook. Did anybody notice that mine looks different? Does anybody else have the new Facebook or am I the only one? Nobody else has it? Sandy, you have it? Okay, so
I'm not sure.
Change my view to the
you will
classic.
if you have you will know if you have the new Facebook.
You'll know the new because this is what it looks
different.
like. It looks really different. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to change mine to classic because that's what most of you have. Okay, so it'll look familiar to you. So this is what yours will probably look like, right? Okay, just so you know, everybody will soon have the classic because that's what Facebook is going to, or the new because that's what Facebook is going to. Okay, so this is the group that I've set up for you that you cannot change. So a couple of things for you to know. I have added a description, and notice how short that description is. The reason is because over here in description or here, I want that link, that party order link, always visible. And notice that all I have is you can see a virtual catalog. By clicking here, it should say or place an order. I need to go in and edit that. And here's my phone number. So that stays where people can see it all the time. Okay. And there are, which is really, really important. So notice that we uploaded a picture, and the picture we just chose a recipe, a current recipe. And this is made so that you know that you're in a pretend group. Everything that we've done, we've color coordinated with 2 flowers at the beginning and 2 flowers at the end. So at a quick glance, you can tell that you're in a training situation. It's not a real party, okay? I've also turned off all of the commenting, so you can't comment on it, so it won't change the order. Now, here's what you wanna know. When you are doing this, you want to understand the way Facebook works. All right, in a party, I'm the administrator. I get the party set up. I add my host as the first guest. She accepts the invitation, and then I'm going to add her as an administrator. So now we both can change or modify anything within the party, okay? So I can go into members. There's only 2 of us in this one. I can see that I'm a member and Wendy's a member, and I or she or we made each other administrators, okay? So I can go back to discussion here. This is why this is important. When Wendy is hosting the party, in this case, and she invites her friends, let's just pretend that I don't know any of her friends, right? She's a host and we don't have mutual friends. So this is what Facebook thinks. Facebook thinks, oh, well, Wendy is friends with all these people, so they're going to want to know what Wendy says. All these people don't know Terry, so we don't really need to tell them that Terry said anything, okay? So what we really want to have happen is we want to have interactive posts for the first 2 days of the party as the host is adding people to the group. And your host is going to add people to the group by the invite button. Okay, by over here, invite members. She's going to add, customers there by, invite people to join. So when she invites them to join, you want them right away to see something that's interactive. It can be something like this. How do you know our host? It can be pieces of bacon cooked from raw to burned, and how do you like your bacon? It can be pictures of marshmallows. How do you like your marshmallows over a fire? It can be any sort of your sole purpose in this thing is to get people to comment. And then you're going to comment on their comments. Now, Facebook thinks, oh, Terry does know John. Oh, Terry does know Sandy. Maybe they do know each other. So if I comment and you comment back and I comment again, now Facebook believes that you're interested in what I have to say. So if, in fact, let's say that, well, John, we'll pick on you because you're on my screen. I can see your face. So John types on and says, I know Wendy from, back in the days when she was a pole dancer. And then I click on and I say to John, I reply to John, I had no idea that Wendy was a pole dancer. And John says, oh yeah, she was great. Okay, so now we have just had an interaction that Facebook believes that John and I are friends. Okay, even though we're not necessarily friends on Facebook, because I don't want to friend all of my customers. That's a lot of Facebook friends. But now we've had this interaction, so Facebook now believes that we're friends. Okay, so you want to, whenever a customer or a guest says, I know Wendy from, you want to just say, not say, welcome, John. You want to say, tell me more about that. You want to end it in a question, whether it be, where did you live at the time, or how many years ago was that, or, something that will prompt them to answer you back so that you have a two-way conversation, so that Facebook is going to now allow your post to show up on John's, what do you call it? News feed. Okay. So that's why it's so important that you do interactive. And here's a good example, another one. So my second post is going to be another interactive one that is not necessarily about products at all, but it's things that are nostalgic or things that people are going to be fun and interactive with. Okay, so we're going to scroll on down. And then in the next post, we're going to explain what they can expect. And that is, we're going to officially start tomorrow. I'm going to start posting tips and ideas and inspiration for dinner prep. And I'm going to put a fun picture here. And so then when it starts down, now we're going to see this is where the party time starts. Now here's the important thing. And when I say important, I can't even tell you how important this is. All through here, your number one job is to get your host to comment on every post you make. And I don't mean with just hitting the like button. So the way the Facebook gods work is that the like button means that people aren't really interested. They're just being polite. Doesn't take any effort. You can like it without opening anything. Like. Pampered Chef does not count that. Not Pampered Chef. No. Facebook does not count that in their, what do they call them? The
algorithm.
I can't say that word.
Algorithm. I'll say it for you.
Algorithm. I want to say a logarithm, and I know that's not right. So they don't count that in their, that, because they think that you're just being polite. Click, click, click is the same as scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay, but if you open it, if she opens it and uses a different emoji, then it counts. If she opens it and she makes a comment, then it counts. Okay, so your host participation is imperative. It's imperative. Like, you cannot do this without your host, because what will happen is you'll have a party with 50 guests, and as you scroll through, it's going to show that not many people saw it. So I just switched screens in case you look down, and I'm going back to the one that I did. And here's what I want you to see. this right here, when you have a party open and you look on your computer and you see how many comments, you can also see how many people saw the post. Okay. And so what I should do is go into a party. I know most of these people because it was my party, right? And so, but see how it's seen by 47 people, seen by 34 people. You can see how many people saw it, and you can actually see who saw it by hovering over it. Okay. Now, if you are in a party I know all these people because it was mine, right? But if you're in a party that is hosted by someone else and you post it, and let's say there's 50 people in the group, on average, only about 10 people are going to see it. But if your host comments and your host makes a post, what you'll see when you hover over how many people saw it, 35, 45 people. That's how important your host is for people being able to see. So you want to partner with your host, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute, how to do that. So as you go through, these are samples. You're welcome to use them. You just have to make them your own, because if you take this and you copy it, so you come in here and you copy it and you go into your party and you paste it and you don't change anything at all, you know what Facebook is going to say? Oh, you're a spammer. You're using somebody else's content. They don't like that. So you can use my post as your starting point. You just have to change it and make it your words. Okay. I have a funny story. I had a party last week with a gal who lives in Chicago, right outside of Chicago. And I said to her, hey, you should post something that says that, hey, y'all, you know, take a look. Here's the link to my party. Take a look. See if there's anything you want. Then y'all just let me know, blah, blah, blah. I'm from Alabama. I'm from Texas. I say y'all every other sentence. She's from Chicago. She never says y'all. She posted it word for word. She copied, pasted, posted it. The comments were all from her family saying, since when do you say y'all? This isn't you. Your friends and family will recognize if it sounds like you or not. So when you do this, copy and paste it, but make it your own. Add a sentence, change a sentence, somehow make it your own so you don't end up in Facebook jail. We really, really want people to know who you are as a human being, because they're a lot more likely to relate to you if they know who you are as a human. So take this idea and make it your own. So, you know, use the bullet points. I don't care, but make it your own, because, you know, people are going to recognize in a hurry that these are not your grandchildren or your children. Okay. But just take these ideas and you can turn them into your own. Every single day, you're going to start the day with something that will cause people to comment. So if you had to choose this or that, if people say, this is another way to fool Facebook into thinking that you're friends. So as people do this, what you're going to have is people are either going to comment, they're going to literally say this, that, or they'll say crunchy, soft. Every single time someone comments, you're going to comment back. You don't have to do it at the moment they comment. You can do it before you go to bed at night for the whole day, by the way. But you're going to go in, and so let's say Wendy comments crunchy. Then I'm going to say, what topping is a must-have on your crunchy taco? And let's say then that Sandy says soft shell taco. Then I'm going to say, do you use sour cream? And then let's say that John says, you know, crunchy. Then I'm going to say with or without guacamole. Something that's easily replied to so that it looks to Facebook like we have an interchange going, a two-way street going, and that way you will increase your visibility on their wall. Okay, every month there's a special. You want to put that in every single outline. You want to intermix products, tips, and recipes all the way through your show. What you want is for people to feel like there's value to them in checking in every day. And if it's only about products, there is no value to them. The value comes from recipes, tips, ideas, and cooking inspiration. Okay, so cooking inspiration can come in the form of a recipe or a cooking inspiration can come in the form of, I had no idea, and I didn't. Before we got the quick cooker, I had no idea that it cut down on your cooking time by up to 75%. I had no idea because I'd never used one before. So there could be people out there that have heard in the last few years about the Instapot craze and the quick cooker craze, but they don't know what that means to them. So if someone is unfamiliar with electric pressure cookers, then right here we've told them, and notice that I am saying a pressure, I'm calling it a pressure cooker, because QuickPot is the name of a product in the same way that an Instapot is the name of a product, but what they all are electric pressure cookers. And so I want them to know why they want an electric pressure cooker, what it does. So this is a quick tip. This is straight off the company's website. It's a quick tip about using a pressure cooker. Okay. And then there's recipes that support the, the product. So the other thing is, notice that I put a picture here, even though there's no recipe. That's because studies have shown that people will click on it if the picture is pretty and it looks nice. So it's a pretty picture, and I want them to see the whole picture, not just at the top with the recipe card. People in magazines and online click the link if the picture of the food looks appetizing. That's why I've included a full-size picture. Okay. So as I scroll down, then I try to make my everyday have a theme. So the theme for the day, and this theme of the day, you might have guessed by now. What's the theme? It's Taco Tuesday, this or that, tacos, right? So I've got the taco theme. Notice what these are. They're all taco toppings. I don't have to say that. You don't have to tell that. People can see it. So I talk about what the cool and serves are. I don't have to list all the things you can use it for, because look, the picture does the talking for me. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. Here's a recipe for chicken salsa cups, which goes along with the theme of, a taco. And then taco night must-haves. Notice that I have combined two products. And the reason is because then it's one fewer post a day, but I'm still showing two products that really do go hand in hand within the theme. Okay. I'm going to throw in at least 3 or 4 times during the course of the week of a party, a recruiting slide with information, and I try to do them different in different parties. You can just copy ours, but don't leave it out, because here's the thing. Right now, I just read today, unemployment is at its highest ever since it's been recorded. Now, you can say, well, that's good news, bad news. So you can think to yourself, well, that's bad news. That means people aren't buying. But what we found is that's not necessarily the case. What it means is people are hosting parties, because virtual parties don't cost them a penny out of their pockets, right? They can host a party for free, doesn't cost them anything, and they can take the free items and have the products that they want. The other thing is, people are looking for an income. They're looking for a side gig, and we can offer that to them. And so you don't know, because people don't always tell you when they are in a situation where they need money. And it may not have anything to do at all with the current, situation. It could be that they've had a credit card debt that they've been carrying for 5 years and they're tired of it. People don't talk about that sort of thing because they're embarrassed by it. And so I always throw out there every single party the opportunity and let them know you can be different kinds. There are different kinds of hosts that you can be. You can, and I can do this. So you can be a catalog consultant, you can be a virtual consultant, short-term career, part-time hobby. The important thing though is that you comment to them privately. Okay, so you might say, you might comment on here and say, if they say, well, I could imagine being a virtual party host or consultant, then you can comment and say, it's really great because people are on their computers all the time and they order online all the time and it works out great. You don't try to convince them to do it in a public forum, just like you wouldn't at a party, you wouldn't at a live cooking show. Okay. Every month, the monthly special changes. So you're going to want to change that slide. And every single party remember, I am promising my host and I'm promising my customers from the get-go that I'm going to share tips, I'm going to share recipes, I'm going to share cooking inspiration. So I have cooking tips that I share in every single party. Okay, so you can either share them in one post like I did here, or you can spread them out one a day. It doesn't matter. All that matters is you really want them to have a value in having participated. Now you may be thinking to yourself, where do you find cooking tips? Does anybody recognize that every single one of these came straight off of our website? I didn't have to be an expert cook. I just borrowed what the company already had for me. The other thing that you can do is you can Google it. You can just go to Google and Google cooking tips, and they're everywhere. Just pick one, okay? So scrolling on down, I want to show you this. This is important. We're going to focus on the higher priced items as a way to get bookings, right? And guess what? People also buy higher priced items all the time. So you're going to want to show videos, and there are different ways to do videos. You can click here to see it. There are also ways that you can have them run automatically, and we're not going to go into that right this minute because it's just more. But if you include the link that they have to click on, you want to say something like "see it in action here," where they can then click on it and it's going to run the video to show the product in action. Okay. So you want to include videos. You can do your own video. You can absolutely do your own video. If you do your own video, you just want to do a live video, or you want to record it and drop it in of you using it in your own kitchen. And it is a good idea, but it's not required. Okay. All right. So along with the video, so now here's all the reasons why you want to have a blender. It cooks itself, it cleans itself, it does all that. Here's a recipe for it. And then this is a really important slide that we want to talk about in a little bit of detail here. So I offer an incentive to all of my hosts to get 3 bookings. Okay. Always have. I'm booked through June. And does it cost me money? Yes. But I'm going to show you that it doesn't cost you as much money as you think it does. All right. So I'm going to put something in every party. You can use this one. There's one with spoons on it on the website, on the, the marketing images. There's one that has 3 spoons. You can use this one. You can make your own. Doesn't matter. But the idea is that when there are 3 bookings, then you're going to give the host a gift. Now I want to make this clear. This is coming out of your pocket. This is not part of the host program. The company, the Pampered Chef, does not give an extra gift to a host who has 3 bookings. If you choose to do something like this, it is coming out of your pocket. But let me explain to you what that looks like, okay? So let's say that I've told my host that if she has 3 bookings, that I will give her a $25 item. No, I'm going to give her a $20 item because the math is easier. Okay. So I'm going to give her a $20 item. Who knows something that costs $20? No,
Brownie.
Just anything. Say something.
Brownie pan.
Okay. Which pan, Marcia?
Brownie pan.
The brownie pan. Good choice. The brownie pan. So I'm going to give you the brownie pan when you have 3 bookings on your order. On the 3rd party, I'm going to give you the brownie pan, and I'm going to use your half price item, and it's going to be free to you. So now that brownie pan cost me $10 instead of $20, but I've also had 3 parties. And if they're 3 average parties and I've made $120 or $150 per party, then I've made $450 and it's cost me $10. So do you see that? Why sometimes it pays to spend money to make more money. I actually give a more expensive gift than that. And another thing that you can do, and it's totally up to you because this is your business and this is totally up to you. You can also, when they've booked their 3rd party, you can actually add it to their host order from their own party before those 3 parties are held. And if you do that, you're going to add it to your host order, get her discount, plus you'll get paid commission on it. So it makes the cost even less to do it that way. It's still going to be about, $10. I tend to do it on the third party using her half price item. And I tell her right up front that I'm going to do that, or that I can add it to her order and still I'm going to get paid commission. So if I don't use her half price item and it's a $20 order, I put it on the host order. I put it on her personal order and I'm going to get paid commission, which is going to be anywhere from 25 to, well, mine's higher, but let's just say 25% commission. Then it's going to only cost you $7.50. No, that's not right. It's going to cost you, what's it going to cost you? It's going to be a quarter of it off. So somebody do the math for me. It's going to cost you
15.
15, 16.
If it was a $20 item.
Okay, thank you. 5, 10, 15, 20. I can do that math. $15. Again, $15 for 3 bookings where the party sells, I've made $450. It's still a good deal for me. And your host is really happy because she's gotten more, a half price item on each one of those shows too. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to stop screen sharing because I want to see your faces here. Does everybody understand that in the 3 bookings thing? Everybody good with that? Nobody's going, what? I don't get it. Everybody's got that. Okay.
Christina said she had a question.
Who?
Christina had a
question.
question.
Yes.
So whenever you go in to put it as their half price thing, do you have to use it as their half price, or can you just pay for it, put money towards it for them, but you're still getting the credit for it instead of having to use that as their half thing? Because I know whenever I did my first party that I did, that was a goal for me, was getting as many half price items for me. That was my personal goal. So I was pushing people so I could get more half price things than so I wouldn't have to use theirs for them.
Exactly. No, you can just put it on their order and then you're going to get paid commission.
Okay.
Okay. What I don't want you to do, this is important. I learned this the hard way. So what you don't want to do is to say, okay, Wendy, I'm going to give you $25
$25 off your order.
Your order. I'm going to give you $25 off your order. You don't want to do that because what you have just done is spent $25 out of your pocket. If you say, choose a $25 item, then I'm putting that item on her order, her personal order, and then I'm getting paid commission. It's not costing me out of pocket $25. So that's the difference. And all it is just fine tuning your wording. It took me a couple of parties to realize that I was losing money doing that. So what you want to do is put it on the order and then you'll get paid commission and you're getting her past host discount, the 10%. And so that $25 order doesn't actually cost you $25 out of pocket. Okay. Yes, Laura.
So when you put it on her order, who's pay? How do you pay for it? Is she going to be charged for it?
No. So you're gonna say, okay, Laura. So you're gonna say, you're gonna put her order in. So you got everything in, and then so it's gonna give you your grand total, the past host grand total. And so let's just say it's $50 even. So it's $50, and then you say, oh, Laura. So in addition to your order, you also get to choose an item as a gift from me. And then you're going to add it on, and then her amount is separate from yours. And then so
there's a place to put in a consultant gift on.
Yeah, for the payment screen, you're going to put your portion in as gift from consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just make sure she pays first.
Yes.
You add her item onto the order.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to separate it out, and then she won't ever even see what you paid.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter. She's still getting a $25 item, no matter what it costs you, she's still getting the same value item. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to screen share. All right. So here we go. So you want to have some sort of, fun, booking post. And then this is the next day. Here's the next day. And there's just a fun, silly, has nothing to do with cooking and everything to do with interaction. And then I'm going to tell them that today's all about the salads. So I've got a salad recipe, a dinner salad recipe for them. These are all salad tools that I have put together in one post instead of 4. Okay. There's a new product alert, and it's got, the new salad bowl. And then now this has gone faster than the average show because I'm scrolling right on through. This is like my favorite picture ever. I basically use this on every party, and it's because it gets people attention and it makes them laugh, but it still is gently asking for their orders. Okay, so toward the end of the party, what happens is that you are going to start asking for orders. Now, I have people ask me this all the time, and I'm just going to tell you, you got 3 basic groups of people, okay, that are participating on a virtual party. The first group, they're very familiar with Pampered Chef. They're very familiar with shopping online. They're going to click on that link. They're going to flip through a catalog, the online catalog, and they're going to order whatever they want, right? They don't really even pay attention to the poster. Maybe they do. Doesn't matter. They're looking through the catalog. They're placing the order sometimes before the party ever starts, okay? Then you got your people who are going to, they don't want to miss a thing. And so they are watching every day to see what products you post and what you see. And they're not going to order to the very end because they don't want to miss anything, right? They want to wait until they've seen it all. They're afraid to place their order that they'll miss it. And so those are the people right here that we're trying to, okay, here's a little prompt for you. We're done. Time to place your order. Okay, so that's why this is toward the end. And you'll find that on our, most of our outlines, this is a shortened outline, and you're going to have access to the longer outlines. We're going to do more of a countdown. Okay, 2 days until orders are due. Tomorrow is the last day of the party. And then this one that says, what do you mean you haven't placed your order? Okay, so this is the basic shortened outline, and it's going to stay right here. But what I wanted to show you too, and then I'm going to let Wendy show you our next training piece, is that if I am in this one is the one that's going to be available to you. It's still posting, and this is my actual outline on a day by day. I didn't take anything out. Okay, this is going to show you every single post over the course of an entire week. Okay, and it will be available.
Same outline that everybody gets with Post My Party.
Same outline, everybody will have access to it. It's still posting because frankly, changing the days in the order was much for my brain. Okay, so it was like, I can't do this. So it'll be ready next week. It's posting as if it were a normal party. Okay, so now the next thing that we want to show you, I keep going to that because I keep forgetting I bookmarked it. This is a new training piece that is a work in progress.
If you're gonna have, are you going to have me do it? Then I need to share my screen.
Yeah, I am. So this is, notice right here where it says successful virtual party. It's got those 2 flowers. That's going to be for all of us. That's your kind of clue that this is part of our training. Okay. And this is where you're going to find a lot of the tools that you need in order to have a virtual successful party. When you are in here, this is the old one. This is what it looks like. And what you want to do too is you want to make sure that you highlight, and you want to teach your host to do this, all posts, so that they get all the notifications. So go into notifications and change it to all posts, not just highlights. And you want to teach all of your hosts to do that, okay? And then we can invite members into this group by just,
your director or recruiter will invite you.
Right, okay? So I'll put.
John, you are our first.
You're in, John. Okay, so now John has to accept it, of course, but when he does, he's in the group. We are going to turn the commenting off so that things don't get jumbled and lost. If you have a question about anything you see in here, we ask that you ask your recruiter or your director, because we don't want there to be so many questions and so many posts that everything gets lost. Okay, but this is what we're working on right now, is to add more. And I'm going to let Wendy show you what's in here so far. And I'm going to stop sharing so Wendy can share. Okay.
Let me share. Okay. Okay, guys. All right. So what we did is we created this successful virtual party training group. Oh, and just by the way, I wanted to say, if pole dancing was my real, my family would be broke. We would be broke. Okay. So, but besides that, what we've done is what we want to do is create a place where you can go that's going to have everything that you're going to need. Everything that if you want different engagement posts, if you want host coaching posts. We're going to try and put everything in here. So the other things is, we wanted to create this so whether you're a brand new consultant or you're a seasoned consultant, you'll have some great value from this page. So we are going to divide it up and try and do posts so everybody can easily understand them. So I believe it was Lori, you were asking about scripts or word choices to get bookings on your calendar. We have that right here. We've uploaded a file. It's a Word document. All you have to do is download it to your computer, and you can save it to your computer, and it will have word choices in there for you that you can, tweak to make them sound like you, but we have a couple of different word choices in there for you also. One of the other things that we have in here that is going to be a really important part of helping you with the virtual party is called I called it Unstoppable. I'm going to change the name, but it's the team virtual training. So what this is going to be is step-by-step instructions on how you are going to set up your virtual parties from start to finish. What I need you guys to know is this is right now a Google Doc, but I'm going to go ahead and open that because what I want to show you is what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on the Google Doc and open it up. Right now, nobody can edit this at all. So what you're going to have to do, because you want to be able to, because there's host coaching notes in here, you want to be able to copy and paste things from here, is if you go to File, you can download this as a Word document and then save it to your computer so you personally will have this. So you don't have to keep coming back to the group to get the word choices. What this document is going to walk you through is how to set up your parties. So it walks you through how to set up a party on Consultants Corner. So when you have to have a party set up on Consultants Corner so you can get the party link to be able to use for your parties. It talks how to set up a group on your business page. Now, it does not talk about how to set up your business page because that training is actually in Dash. So if you go to Dash, either under Welcome, on the Welcome Getting Started part, one of them will talk about actually how to set up your business page. And you do need to set up your business page. That is how you're going to run all your parties. Terry mentioned last night in New Consultant Training that is the way that both Pampered Chef and Facebook wants us running our business is through a business page. Once you have that set up, you can click this link and it's a video and it will walk you through step by step on how to set up a group on your business page, and you create a group for each party, okay? What I also have put in here is, and I'm going to change this based on what Terry and I talked about earlier, is because this talks about your description and putting an announcement in on your groups. But all that is when you click it and open the Word doc, it just has the words to use, okay? Actually, we might take that off because if it's on the example one, Terry, they can grab it off the example.
Yeah, you just copy
So I
it.
might just take that off completely so it's not even on there. Also, this video will walk you through, the next video walks you through how to set up Post My Party and to schedule your parties. We use Post My Parties. That's how we share our outlines, is through Post My Party. It is a posting service. The great news is you get a 30-day free trial. Now, what we want you to do is take all this training up until step 4 prior to getting the link from your director of the 30-day free trial. And the reason being is we want you to maximize those free 30 days. We don't want you to waste 1 or 2 days of them by having to watch these videos and then going and getting the link for Post My Party. So we want you to maximize those 30 days. There are training tutorials on the Post My Party website. The problem is some of them are outdated and that they're not up to date with the new way they're doing Post My Party. So we decided to go ahead and create our own video of how to use Post My Party. It's using our outlines and how to actually schedule your parties on your for the Facebook groups. So the one thing you want to remember is that there's 3 separate parts to this. First, you have to have your link, the party link from Pampered Chef. Then you have to set up your Facebook group through your business page, and then you have to set up Post My Party. So there's 3 separate steps that you have to take when you're setting this up. I will tell you the first 1 or 2 times that you do this, it is going to be a little bit, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but once you get the hang of it, you're going to see how truly easy it is to set these all up. Now, one of the things is every single month we do have an outline for you. It's usually, the next month's outline is usually created by the 25th of the previous month. So June's outline will be ready around May 25th. And so it is going to take you a little bit of time at the beginning of every month to import it and then make it your own. And when we say by making it your own, you'll change the picture to represent yourself when you're doing the introduction for the consultant, and also, excuse me, change some word choices and make them sound like yourself. All right. So it'll just take you, but once you do that at the beginning of the month, the rest of the month, when you schedule it out, it's going to be very, very quick.
So
But,
when Wendy does her outline, you're going to want to take out the pole dancing part.
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Because if that's not part of your history, you don't want to say it is.
That's exactly true. Exactly true. But in this video, we're watching through how to set up Post My Party and schedule your parties. I talk about that on how to do that. I mean, I talk about the importance of why you want to do that. Once you watch those videos, quickly send a text message to your director and say, hey, I finished those videos. I'm on step 5. I need the link to sign up for Post My Party. Do not sign up without the link, because if you sign up, you only get a 7-day free trial. Because we're with Pampered Chef, we get a 30-day. All right. So now the rest of this, I'm going to talk about how I run my parties. Now, everybody, there's no right or wrong way to run your parties. This is just the way I run my parties. I run my parties from, I add my host on a Friday. I do 2 days of what we like to call pre-post, which gives the host time to add her guests and for people to accept. There's engaging posts in there for people to comment on, and then you to comment back so you can get the the talking back and forth. So Facebook realizes, hey, this group is a really fun group. Let's push the content out. And then the party actually officially kicks off on Monday. So what I've done is I have laid out for you, or it has been laid out in this document, is my word choices of what I send to my host on what day and about what time. I try to lay it out as easy as possible. If it's in green, that means it's a note to you as the consultant. If it's in bold, that is a note to your host. But if it is not bold, that is what she is going to post. So have I made
It'll make
sense?
sense when you read it.
Yeah, it'll really make sense when you read it. So if it's green, it's a note to you as a consultant. If it's in bold, it's for your host, but she'll understand. I mean, you'll understand when you read it what she is supposed to post, what your host is supposed to post. Okay. One thing you'll notice as you're reading through these, and I do encourage you to read through each one, that for the majority of them, I always say after, when I'm giving my host instructions, I always say, give me a thumbs up after you've posted, because I want to know that she's posted. I don't want to have to go hunt for it to see if she's posted it. I want her to give me a thumbs up that she's posted. And so once she gives me the thumbs up, I usually say, hey, thank you so much. That's awesome. What you're also going to find in these host coaching notes is the fact that it is notes to ask your hosts about if they want to start their own business with Pampered Chef. So 1 week prior to the start of the party, you're sending out a message that just says, I've got your party all set up. or I'm getting your party all set up, and hey, do we want to make this your launch party? Okay. And then throughout, you'll see throughout, sprinkled through here, it talks about asking your host if they'd like to start the business. One of the things I will tell you is I do let my host know that I really need her participation in this, because the fact that by her participating in it, it is going to make the party a lot more successful, because like Terry was saying, her guests will see it more if she is actually posting. So I just want to let you know that this is just the way that I do my host coaching. And you can read the document, and it tells you each day what to post, what to say. Okay? All right, so let me go back to the party itself. All right, so the other thing that we did post in here is we talked about getting bookings at your parties. And we talked about, using where your host helps you by, she gets a gift if there's three bookings, she gets a gift. But one of the things that I also do to get bookings on my calendar is I send out a text message to everybody who places an order. What I consider this is, just to let you guys know a little bit about myself, is before we all were now can't leave our homes, is I was probably a 50% consultant, live consultant, and 50% virtual. So when you're a live consultant, you're taught to do what we call a full service checkout, meaning you talk to each person, ask them if they'd like to host a party, so you can get bookings on your calendar. Because one of the things that they have found out is most people will book a party or ask why they booked a party and says, well, because somebody asked me. So we needed a way to do a full service checkout even though it's a virtual party. So what I do is everybody who places an order gets a text message from me. So the first message that they get from me, and as you can see, I send these out on Thursdays, is it would say, Dear Christine, happy Thursday. This is Wendy, Pampered Chef. Thank you for placing an order on the party. Now, I do not say my host's name, because I'll tell you guys, I cut and paste. I cut and paste each one of these, so it makes it easier. Most people know what party they've ordered from. I want to verify your address, and then I stick in their address. The reason I do this first is because I know that 9 times out of 10, they'll answer me back if I've asked them to verify their address. So that's how I start my conversation. Then my second message usually is something about, yay, we'll be closing the party soon. I'm curious, do you have any wish list items? And then I send the second message. If they say yes to me, I say, great, I'll set you up and get ready to start on I'll get you all set up and ready to start on Friday. All right, that's my message to them. I do not let them pick a date. I just say, hey, let's get started, because it's really that easy. You can get them started within days. And then if they answer no, this is really important. I think this is a very important thing. If they say, no, I'm not interested, you have to send a message back. Because if you don't send a message back, that's like, you slamming the door in somebody's face. And you don't want to do that, because you never know what could happen. So I always answer back. Thank you for responding. If you change your mind, I would be honored if you think of me. Please let me know if you have any questions about your products. I have gotten people who've reached out to me way after the party and has said, you know what, I've changed my mind. I want to have a party. So I always leave the door open. So that is basically what is in here right now. Let me stop sharing real quick. That's basically what is in our training group. We are going to be constantly adding to that. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that all the directors are members of this, and then they will actually add you to this group. So we probably need to make sure, Terry, that we've turned off for all commenting. I don't know if we've done that to those posts. Because we just want to kind of make sure that, because once again, we want to make sure that it doesn't get out of order. But you are more than welcome to use anything that's in this group. That is what this group is there. This group is there for. It is there to help you train you and to help you have an extremely successful virtual party. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that group or about anything I covered?
About anything that we've covered.
About anything. We'll answer anything.
I have a question. I'm just going to say this is absolutely amazing to have all that information in one spot. You guys have done a fantastic job. So I'm looking at, I'm learning things. I've done a lot. I'm only doing virtual parties since October. I just texted the host that's doing a show right now and told her about if she will post on everything, they'll see more of them. And she went back and she commented on every post that is in there. And I can already see the increase in numbers of people who've seen it. So I'm glad I was here.
You bring up a very good point, John, is you have let your host know, you have to let them know the why behind
The why,
it.
right.
Not just telling them to do it. They need to know the why behind it. Just like any of us. You know, if I told you to, pull the string, you're not going to pull the string until I tell you why you should pull the string. Okay, you got to do the same thing with your host. You need to tell them the why behind it so they understand it, and then they'll be more willing to do that.
Right.
For sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I just want to show you, this won't take 30 seconds.
Wait, one question.
Oh,
Lorena,
another
did you have a
question?
question or did you just put your hand on your head?
Lorena's scratching her head.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to show you one quick thing. We're not going to go into detail. I just want to show you what it looks like for those of you that are not familiar with it. Because I feel like it's jargon until you've seen it. So Post My Party is the posting service that we use. And when we're going to share a template with you that's going to be shared via a link. And when you get that link, there's going to be, a monthly outline, and I'm just trying to find one. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so here's February. This is the one I used personally, and then this is the one that was shared. And so if I go in here and just open it, this is what it looks like before it's posted, and this right here is where I go in and make the words my own.
Yeah, that's covered. It's all covered in one of the
and that's all you do. I mean, that's what it looks like, and it really is. That's all you do. It costs, after the first 30 days, we don't want any surprises, it costs $9.99 a month. It is the best $9.99 you will ever spend, because it means that I can have 5 parties running, and that posting service is posting in all 5 parties, and all I have to do is go in and comment. Okay? All right. So I wanted just so you could just see at a glance, what it looks like. Okay. Any other questions? Marcia?
I have a question.
Are you muted? There.
If you've already, I have a business page.
Okay.
But my personal page, way back before we had personal pages, that's how all my pages, my shows have been run through. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you just mentioned that Pampered Chef and Facebook want us using our business page to do those.
Right.
Do I need to?
No, you don't need to do anything with those. You don't need to do anything with those old parties. We all used to run our parties through our pages. Just don't even worry about them. Just start from now running them through your business page. You don't have to worry about your old parties.
Well, but I set 2 up today.
Oh.
So but they haven't started yet.
You haven't added anybody?
Have they invited anybody, Marcia?
No, because I didn't want to, I didn't want to do anything until after this training.
Okay. If they haven't invited anybody, you can change it. If they've invited people, don't change it, because
Marcia,
then you can invite them.
Marcia, you and I need to talk, because I can show you how to link it to your business page so you don't have to redo them.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can just link it.
Okay.
Because
I'll show you how to do that.
Time.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'll show you how to do it.
Time is our most valuable asset. So,
Yeah.
okay.
You can link
Good.
it.
You can link it. So
Sandy?
Yeah, I don't understand that, because I try to post something and it goes on my personal page instead of my business page. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to
So
get
when
it.
you are, so you go into your business page, you open your
Mm-hmm.
business page, and you have to make sure you're interacting as your business and not interacting as your person.
Here, let me show you what she means. So are you talking about when you're on a party, Sandy?
Well, just like say I wanted to just post something on my business, like the I don't have a party set up right now.
Oh,
Let's say I just
Oh,
want to post what the monthly specials
specialist.
are.
You have to just go to your business page. Like this is my business page right here. So you
Okay.
need to go to your business page and then it says write a post. And if you write a post right here, then it's going to post to your business page. If I go here, this is my personal, if I post right here, then it's my personal wall.
Okay.
So whatever
open
your
your
name,
business page
whatever the name
before
of
you
your
make a
business
post.
page is, type it in up in the search, go to your
Mhm.
business page,
Okay.
okay? And then once you're on your business page, I can tell I'm on business page because it has my business page name right here. Then I know I can post right here.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll try that and see.
Okay. All right. And if you have problems, you reach out to your director and they can walk you through it. So, okay.
Okay, thanks.
I do have a question. I got an email from Pampered Chef, and it says a customer located you through your personal website and wants to connect with you. So this is not a person I know.
What does it say they want?
It just says, I want to orders from you.
It's
Not
not
there.
proper
Is it
English?
bad grammar? Is it incorrect grammar?
Yeah.
Okay, it's spam. Delete it.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. I mean, that's the first email I've gotten from that. And there's just an email address, no phone
Right.
number.
It's
It's
spam.
spam. It's spam.
Anytime, it's no different than any other email or text message or spam message. They're just phishing. And Pampered Chef has filters up and they filter out most of it. But
Yeah.
every once in a while. And so the biggest thing is if there's improper English, bad grammar, or if there's something that says, you need to order this and I'll send you a certified check and then you can, blah, blah, blah. Spam. Yeah.
Okay.
We've all had them. Spam.
Okay.
Yeah. Just delete it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
I had a question.
Yes.
So I know this isn't like more like for hosting, but I wanted to know, are we allowed to start doing like a fundraiser?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
How
Christine, I
do we
think,
like start that?
okay, so I think, are we talking tomorrow night with Jody?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
going to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, not a
I
problem.
didn't
We'll
know she contacted you
cover that
about
in
it.
detail.
So with the
Yeah.
fundraiser though, because right now is a great time to do a fundraiser. I run my fundraiser just like any other party.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna cover that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Any other questions? All right. So here's the thing. Post My Party is not required. You can still do this without Post My Party. It just makes it so that you can do more and you can do it more easily without feeling like you're sitting and staring at a screen a lot. You can also do Facebook Scheduler, which you might hear, and that requires you to go into each party and individually schedule the post to post when you want them to post, but you can't do it across multiple parties at once. You have to go into John's party, schedule all the posts. Wendy's party, schedule all the posts. Marsha's party, schedule all the posts. So you're having to set them up 4 or 5 individual parties as opposed to setting up once in Post My Party and letting them post for you. So does that make, I just want to make sure you understood what we meant by a posting service and why it's worth paying for. Okay, but it's not required. It just makes your life a lot easier. And in the long run, you make a lot more money doing it that way. Okay, one thing we didn't say, but I'm going to throw this right back out here for you. Every single week, you should send a catalog to your upcoming hosts. So a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, whatever. I do it once a week because if I do it when they schedule it, then I get confused who has and who hasn't. So like on Friday, or like when I know I've got parties to set up on Friday, on that Monday before, of that same week, I mail every single one of them a catalog so that they have a paper catalog. because they might have a next door neighbor or their mother or their boss who won't buy anything online, who wants a paper catalog. Okay. All right, we should hang up because we have just given you a lot of information. We will be adding you to that training group in a matter of days. There's a couple of things we want to add, and then we'll be putting you in there like literally in the next day or two. But just know that what it is now is not what it's going to be. We'll continue to add, but we want to keep it very limited. It's not meant to compete with Pampered Chef's website. That's where all the information is. This is how to narrow it down to nothing but how to do a virtual party. Okay. Thank you all for taking time out. And if you need to, if you want to work on your parties and work on doing things this week, we'll be doing this again next week, and you can just hop right back on next week and watch it again.
Who knows? We might have some more information.
We might have changed our minds. We might find out that Wendy was a stripper and not a pole dancer after all. So
yeah, my family would really be starving then.
Yeah. This is how rumors get started.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I heard that
you know what? Poor Shelly. She's gonna, Shelly and Aaron, they're gonna be like, great. What kind of direction